Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. That music you just heard was none other than the Unholy Four and their mega super fucking hit song, Dirty Knife. Check out the Unholy Four.
How's my hair look? My hair look good?
It's not horrible. It's not bad. You're letting your hair grow?
No, actually, just got a cut.
Just got a cut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right, cool. Well, real quick, we're gonna get to business. Business is coming up real fucking quick here. So this Saturday, the 13th of January, I will be at the Horse in Sellersville. They have renewed my every second Saturday of the month for the year of 2024, which is very exciting. So I will be at the Horse every second Saturday in the month of every month except for March because I get busy with Irish music, so come see me. And then some Ottsville Record Garage business real quick, man. We are, just so you guys know, you keep a heads up, follow us on social media, OttsvilleRecordGarage.com, and we're on Facebook and TikTok and that fucking, what's that other thing called? Instagram, Ottsville Record Garage. We're planning
the social medias.
The social medias, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many social medias. Isn't there like more than those now? Or is it still just those three? This is how out of it I am.
I mean, Facebook's still a thing, but I don't use Facebook anymore.
Right.
Twitter's now called X.
Yeah, Twitter's just stupid.
I never use TikTok.
Okay.
And I have an Instagram.
All right. Yes.
Maybe there's more.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Friendster.
Okay. But at any rate, what?
Friendster.
I don't know. Is MySpace still?
Yeah,
a thing?
Friendster.
I have no idea. But at any rate, yes. So keep an eye on the Ottsville Record Garage social media because we are planning pop-up events, pop-up record stores every month from April till the end of the year. I've already had a few confirmed at some different locations, and we're taking it to some wineries, some breweries. We're going to work with some distilleries. We're going to be like all over, once a month. Throughout 2024. If that goes well, then 2025 we'll expand it. We'll do some more, and maybe some other places. But it's all part of it. So it's very exciting. So I am the Country Hipster. To my left is my co-host and brother Adam, the Country Designated Drinker. So I call him the designated drinker because I say this as so he's the designated drinker because my wife Katie and I are doing dry January, but for me it's mostly dry January, and I actually have her blessing. I am drinking a Lone Star beer here. The reason I have this beer and the reason I am allowed to drink it is because Katie and I just finished season 1 of True Detectives, and this is the beer that they drink throughout the show. And as we're like watching the show, and Matthew McConaughey's like, it's pretty good Matthew McConaughey, right? Yeah, as he does that.
I close my eyes. It's like, oh, Matthew McConaughey's in the garage.
It's like,
now you're bleeding into like the hillbilly guy from Waterboy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, okay. All right, I see that. But at any rate, so my first Matthew McConaughey was better than my second Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
But at any rate, as he's sitting there drinking it, we can tell it's a shitty beer just because of like the whole premise of it. And she's like, "Oh, you should get that beer for the podcast." No. So when I went out to get beer, actually, the beer that you're drinking,
I'm drinking Round Guys. If I just spin around, we've had it on the podcast before, Professor Booty,
right?
But it's extra fitting for this episode.
It is extra fitting for this episode, which we'll get into in a second. But like, so I got this and I got that, and I was like, all right, I got to get it. And Katie's like, well, no, you should drink at least one on the pod. Well, she didn't say at least one. She said I should drink one on the podcast. I threw in the at least. But so I'm doing mostly dry January.
Yeah.
So Adam is our designated drinker, and you are drinking Professor Booty there,
yes,
which is very fitting because finally we are getting around to doing.
I was thinking about this. We drew this record like a month ago
after the Boxcar Racer, which was 4 episodes at this point.
Yeah.
So it's been about 4 weeks since we filmed. We had some random episodes, which were good.
No.
They were good random episodes. So I got to thank Sean from the Unholy Four for bringing on the Laws episode. Kristen, our constant special guest,
our resident
female special guest, for doing the Blitzen Trapper episode. And then of course, if you saw it last week, you saw our beer episode, which was supposed to be just the beginning of the Boxcar Racer episode, but when we're going on for 45 minutes just talking about beer, we figured, no, you know what, we need extra content. We need some bonus content.
Oh, which reminds me, the Was it Christmas Day?
Uh-huh.
I can't remember. It was sometime. But you gave me two big share bottles of.
Oh yeah, the black and tan. Well, that was
of the black and tan
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had one at the house, and then I brought one. I think it was New Year's, maybe. I brought it down to Katai's, and I was like, "Oh, try this. It's a beer Paul and Jack made." I'm like, "You're not gonna like it,
right?"
Because she likes beer, but she doesn't care for like craft. She doesn't care for a lot of craft stuff.
Right, understand.
She's more of like a PBR Miller Lite Speed. But she did not like it. But honestly, it tasted slightly different.
Okay.
It
kind of should. I mean, it's been bottle aging a few more weeks now.
Yeah.
So,
it wasn't bad. It still wasn't bad. I still enjoyed the fuck out of it.
I haven't had the black and tan again since the night that we did the tastings.
No.
I have had a few cream ales. I haven't had the stout since that night either. But I know, like, number one, we still have some left. So obviously that tells you how much Jack thinks of it too. Like, he's drinking it, but not at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking it at all. So we do still have some, but I will, because I'm not gonna waste it. You know what I mean? So we are gonna drink it. I'll go around the back, but sometimes they do change. Like after, being conditioned in the bottle, like the flavor profile can change a bit. So maybe
I know,
it just needs some more time.
The Dogfish Head makes the 60, 90, and 120 minute IPA.
Yeah.
I think they actually recommend, like, when you get a 120 minute IPA, to like have some now, but then also store one for a while.
Oh, do they? Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So maybe that's what will happen.
That's also like 20% alcohol or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's fucking
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. But I don't know. Maybe it'll change some. Maybe I'll try some more of my my horrible home brews.
I didn't think it was horrible, man. I think you're being way too judgmental of yourself. I enjoyed it.
Well, what's cool is that the week after Christmas, it was like right before New Year's, Bob and I finally got together and made Bob and Paul's hot dog water.
I saw the Instagram post. Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. That's actually going to be I think he said he was gonna keg it soon. I don't know. He hit me with something the other day.
And the plan is to have that for the
fantasy football party at the end of the month. So and it's ready. It's done. I mean, I think he already. I don't know if he kegged it yet or it's basically ready to be kegged. It's pretty much good to go now.
Nice.
So that'll be good. We're not going to bottle it or anything. We're just going to do the kegs and you know what I mean. Because last time we made a beer for the fantasy football party, we drank the whole thing that night. So I'm anticipating we're going to do that again this year. So and it should be good. Should be much better.
The only downside is like now that just means that you have to make a second batch of hot dog water that you bottle to put the Vienna sausages.
Yeah, exactly. But I did take a picture of like when I was like cleaning out the masher. We threw a couple hot dogs in there and took a picture of that. So I will be honest about that. But so it has been a few weeks, and so that we've been in here, and I don't know. I've kind of enjoyed the break a little bit. It was nice. We know we kept content going for you guys out there. Because we know you're clamoring for more of the Country Hipster podcast.
Honestly, the best part of it is just like all of the shit that was going on with the holiday season.
Oh yeah.
It just made it easier for just like one less thing that we had to do.
Exactly. Which was nice. So what have you been up to the last few weeks? I know I saw you Christmas, but
nothing much really. Had a very quiet New Year's. Katai and I. We got a case of beer, and we played a board game that she bought me for Christmas.
Okay.
It's a board game called Hues and Cues. Basically, the board is just a gigantic color spectrum.
Okay.
It looks like if you walked into a Home Depot and just walked over to the wall where they have all the color swatches. That's what it looks like.
That's okay.
That's
right up your alley.
Yeah. So basically, what you do is you draw a card, and there's 4 of the individual color squares on your card. And you basically have to give your partner clues about one of the colors so they can then guess which one it is based off your clues.
Okay.
So it's kind of interesting because it's a little bit of me figuring out that like I might be colorblind, me and Katai realizing that the lighting in her apartment is really shitty, and then also like trying to figure out how in this case, significant other's brain works.
Right.
But it was fun. Very quiet, very low key. Aside from that, I haven't really done anything.
Okay.
No.
Nice. And then so that was what I was actually. My next question is like, did you get any good gifts for Christmas?
Katai got me that board game. She also bought me I've talked about before. The hats I always wear are made by a company called Ep42. She bought me. I have 3 currently. I'm waiting for a 4th one that she bought me. They delivered it to the wrong address.
Oh, that's fun.
She contacted them and they were like, "Oh my god, that sucks. We'll send you a new one. Don't worry about it."
Nice.
So that's cool. So definitely check out Ape and Bird if you want to keep a pencil in your hat.
Yes, that would be the only reason.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
So yeah, I'm getting a hat. I got the board game, and then I wear Red Wing boots to work. So I got a gift card to get a new pair of boots because mine are getting dicked.
Very nice.
After a year and a half of wear.
Hey, well, yeah, wait, don't Red Wings have like a lifetime guarantee?
No,
the soles.
But it's not that they have a lifetime guarantee. It's that I could literally send my boots out to get resold.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I knew there was something when I.
The only problem is that I have a feeling that one of the things you do to break in new boots is you put mink oil on them. And I think I over mink oiled them, which then kind of led to a slight deterioration of the leather, especially on the toe of the right boot. Because as you can see,
Jesus
the
Christ.
steel toe on my right boot is completely exposed.
Yeah.
So I think the next time around, I'm gonna get the exact same pair of boots that I have, but I think I won't mink oil them as often and just go with go the clean instead of an oil.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, that's about it. How did you get any fun things for Christmas?
Katie and I got a gift certificate to go out to eat one night from our mom.
Where did you?
Your mom gave us.
No, I know, but where did she? Did anywhere specific?
No, just a gift, like a $50 gift card. So
nice.
Just like, hey, go out, yeah. But which is totally cool. So like Katie and I don't do gifts. We don't exchange gifts. We didn't, like, even before we had Regina, we didn't exchange gifts. Just, you know, gifts are, you know, it's like whatever. Like if I want something, I say, hey, is it in the budget for me to buy this, and vice versa, and. You know what I mean? So we get shit that we want like throughout the year. So it's
I say Katai says it's very hard to shop for me for a gift because same thing. Like,
it's like,
if there's something I want, I'm like I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go buy it if I can buy it.
And
so
it's not that I mean I appreciate gifts. Don't get me wrong. I love gifts. It's like, oh cool, thank you. But it's just kind of like you know. Like I don't necessarily like I'm one of those people where like honestly if like I would want like the gift that I would want is not like necessary a specific thing. Like if someone's going to get me a gift, I would want them to say, this reminded me of you.
Yeah.
And here's why it reminded me of you, and I thought that you should have it. Like that's the kind of, you know, and it could be a pen, it could be like whatever, and like that I'll be like, oh man, that's fucking awesome, thank you, I appreciate that. Like otherwise, like I'm just like, if there's something I want, I'm just gonna buy it. Like I'm an adult, you know what I mean? So, but no, I mean, so I think Regina like that Santa Claus game, you know what I mean? So I think she enjoyed that. What's that?
Santa Claus game?
Santa Claus on Christmas?
Oh,
my daughter.
But you said game.
No, Santa Claus came.
Oh, I thought you said that Santa Claus game. I'm like, what fucking game did you play?
No. I don't think she quite understood what was going on, but she dug it. And like after a little bit, she's like, "Wait a minute, I get this stuff. This stuff's mine." I'm like,
this stuff stays here now.
It stays here. Have fun with that. So yeah. So no, that was pretty much it. New Year's we were, New Year's Eve we actually went down to Human Robot Brewing in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
And we had lunch with Kristen, friend of the podcast, Kristen, and her boyfriend Jeff, and you know. And you know, Regina was with us, and then we just came home and just chilled. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Did you guys make it to midnight?
Yes, we did. Regina did not.
Did you watch the ball drop?
Yeah.
I say, Katai and I made it to midnight, but we didn't watch the ball drop. We were actually just like playing the game, having beers, listening to music on our Alexa. And then at one point, like we went out to smoke a cigarette, and we came back inside. And, like, we were both pretty tired, so, like, all right, do you just want to go to bed? And she looked down at the thing, and it was, like, I don't know, like 11:30. She's like, no, we got to wait.
Yeah,
like,
at that point, let's wait up. Yeah, no, I get it, yeah. Now, we made it to midnight. We were I forget what we were watching something. And then around 11:30, we were like, oh, okay, let's find, you know, the Dick Clark thing. So we watched that for a little bit. And I was like, it was all right. So I was actually glad to not see Jenny McCarthy on it.
Is it still considered, because he doesn't do it anymore. He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah. Dick Clark.
Dick Clark. Is it still considered? Is it still called like Dick Clark's?
Yeah, it's still called Dick Clark's
Rockin' Eve or whatever.
Yeah, but now it's with Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
So, But
Jenny McCarthy's not on it
she's
anymore?
not. She wasn't on it this year. Thank God. I don't have an issue with Jenny McCarthy. I just thought she was always annoying on the New Year's Eve show.
Yeah, I always got every time. I didn't watch it intently, but I'm watching it. I was like, she fucking just bugs me.
Yeah. Yep. So now that we've caught up on everything, we are here to talk about the Beastie Boys. Check your fucking head, which is why this beer is perfect, Professor Booty, because that is a song on this album. It's not check your fucking head. It's just check your head in case you're actually trying to Google this stuff. So Adam, hit me with some factoids.
Before we start with factoids, I think we should we should raise a glass to MCA.
Yeah, MCA.
Yeah. I just looked up. I knew I couldn't remember when he passed. In my head, I realized that my sense of time is fucked.
Oh yeah.
Because in my head, he passed away like a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, it was
passed away in 2012.
Yeah, I was gonna say 2011, 2012, something like that.
So yeah, my sense of time is fucked.
That's all good.
This is the third studio album by the Beastie Boys. I always say the Beastie Boys, but it's just Beastie Boys.
It's just Beastie Boys. Yeah.
Like I said, third studio album released April 21st, 1992. Was recorded at G-Sun in California. And was released on Grand Royal and Capitol.
Okay.
Was produced by Mario Cataldo Jr.
I'll have to take your word on that one.
But he's more commonly known as, and you can hear him referenced multiple times in Beastie Boys songs, Mario C.
Oh yeah.
Okay. He's produced bunch of Beastie Boys stuff. Produced Jack Johnson, or worked on Jack Johnson stuff. Producer, engineering, all that kind of shit. Worked with Bjork, Blur, and John Butler Trio.
Okay.
The album got widespread acclaim from its release. Spin ranked it number 4 of the 20 best albums of the year for 1992.
Okay.
And was listed. Spin also listed as number 12 on the 90 greatest albums of the 90s. Alt Press listed it as 23 on 99 albums on the top 99 albums released between 1985 and 1995. Pitchfork listed it as 67 on the top 150 albums of the 1990s, and their list on 2022. And then, so I always like when this actually pops up for these albums, but Rolling Stone listed it as 261 on the 500 greatest albums of all time in the 2020 list.
Okay.
And what was interesting is it was not on the first list in 2003, nor the 2012 list.
Well, I know they did like a bunch of stuff with the 2020 list where they were trying to make the list, I guess, more inclusive of different genres, because I think like the other two lists are very, just like the classic type of shit. You know what I mean? Like over and over again. So I know I don't know if they did the voting differently or if the criteria is, I don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
No, it's what the that fucking thing, I thought we killed that like
like a month ago.
It's still living here. We still have things flying around here. It's the middle of winter and there's things flying around the Ottsville Record Garage.
The album peaked at number 10 on the Billboard 200, and it peaked at number 37 on the Billboard top R&B and hip hop albums.
Okay.
And also went 2 times platinum in the States.
Nice.
It's funny because it went 2 times platinum in the States, 2 times platinum in Canada, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But Canada's like version of platinum is 100,000.
Yeah.
Opposed to us, which is 1 million.
Yeah. Well,
So-
it's Canadian.
It's Canadian.
It's Canadian.
Which I was.
Speaking of Canada, I saw this thing the other day, and it's totally like off topic. It's just the fact that you mentioned Canada.
Yeah.
And it said something like, it said like, you gotta look it up. It said like, fear of Canadian Taylor Swift is unwarranted. ... And it shows like a picture of like,
I did see that.
And like right across her mouth, it's like
She's like between
out,
2
so
jumbotrons. Yeah.
So it's like, oh god.
Yeah, I did see that.
I thought that was pretty good that you mentioned Canada. But I'm sorry, go on.
I enjoy that. No, that's all I got, dude. Like I said, was went 2 times platinum, so sold over 2 million copies in the United States. On the whole, this was my record.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about it on the drive up here. I think this may have been like the second or third album I ever owned.
Oh, neat.
I started,
Which is funny because when I started collecting vinyl again, one of the first albums I picked up was a Beastie Boys album.
Oh,
as
really?
Well. Yeah.
This was actually a gift. So I started. My first record that I bought was my freshman year of high school, and I started getting into collecting it then. So I don't remember if it was birthday or if it was Christmas or whatever the fuck it was. But my daughter's mom actually bought me this album. I believe it was she bought it at Hot Topic.
Okay. Which is actually where I bought my Beastie Boy album too. Yeah.
So we're talking 2004, 2005 ish.
Okay.
Hot Topic probably not. I actually don't even know if this is the. I don't think it's a deluxe edition.
It wasn't 2004, 2005. I'll tell you that much. It was much later than that.
What?
That was bought.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was. Your sense of time's all fucked up again.
It is fucked up. Because I know
Because I can tell you that this one wasn't pressed in 2004 or 2005.
Because I know she bought it for me.
Yeah.
Or maybe she bought it. No, I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Because I know she bought it for me, and we broke up the summer between my freshman and sophomore year.
Okay, she must have bought it for you maybe as a graduation gift or something because you and I'll just, not to jump segments, but this is a 2009 pressing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she bought it for me. That's fucking.
Yeah.
Or wait, was it my daughter's mom or was it Annie?
Oh, well, you have so many like children out there. It could have been multiple daughters.
I don't have any kids. No kids with Annie.
No kids with
but
Annie.
I could have swore Christy got this for me.
The sun did not come out tomorrow with Annie.
No.
Darn.
I could have swore Christy bought this for me, but now that I'm thinking, maybe Annie bought it for me.
It was Annie.
Because I was dating Annie around 2009, 2010ish.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, my entire history of this album is fucked up. I thought this was literally like one of my second or third albums, but now it's probably way off.
It's not.
But yeah, so all right. Well, I know this album was a gift from an ex-girlfriend. How about we go with that? On the whole, I like this record. I actually never heard this record until whatever ex-girlfriend I can't remember bought it for me. On the whole, I like this record. But that being said, I had a very hard time listening to this record for this podcast.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because that is actually one of the notes that I have on here. Where is it? Yes, it was difficult to get through this album. I'll say right. I do enjoy this album. It was not difficult to get through this album as far as like, hey, let me listen to this album. It was difficult to get through it from an objective standpoint.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when I get into the records, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about this because they're specific for the podcast. It's not that it's a hard listen. It's a real easy album to listen to.
Yeah.
But like for what we do here, at least what I do when I get into these, I listen to the albums multiple times over and over.
Yeah.
And over. And I'm listening
Same.
for little things. Like I have my initial kind of just go through and get like kind of like some initial thoughts, and then I try to listen to it at least 3 times. This one, because it's been so long, I've listened to much more than 3 times.
Yeah.
But it was like I try to get objective as to listening to besides the different songs to pick my top 3 and bottom 1. What are the different nuances about the album that I like? What things pop up at me? What songs do the first listen through do I not really like that much? And then by the last listen through, I'm like, oh no, I actually do like that song, or dislike that song, or you know what I mean, like this, that, and the other thing. So I'm very objective when I listen to it, and yes, this was not an easy listening album as far as being objective about. But like it's one of those things where like, if it's just on, like, cool, yeah, man, no, it's on. I'm gonna listen to it. I'll listen to it every time.
So it was hard to get through for me for a different reason.
Okay.
This album for me is one of the albums on our lists where if I had another album by that band, I would put it on it.
Okay.
So this album is a good album. Don't get me wrong. It's a very good album. The only problem with this album is it's not Licensed to Ill.
Okay. All right.
Every time I listen to this album, I want to put License to Ill on.
So I enjoy this album, but it is also not my favorite Beastie Boys album. But it's a solid album. It is a really good, solid album. I would go. So no particular order, but like there's actually 3 albums. This is actually probably my 4th favorite Beastie Boys album, because I would go Ill Communication, Paul's Boutique, and License to Ill before I would go to this album.
Truck Bed?
Yeah, I think so. There you go.
Sorry, that's the one interesting. Have we had Lion's Head on the podcast?
Not in bottles, I don't think.
We should probably get Lion's Head bottles.
Should, yeah.
So Lone Star is what now I'm drinking. But if you're local to the Pennsylvania area, Lion's Head is the dirt beer of Pennsylvania, and they have little.
Well, there's a lot of dirt beer.
Well,
in
there is,
but like that's basically.
Lion's Head, I feel Lion's Head and like Natty Ice are the ones that like are. Natty Ice isn't from Pennsylvania, but those are the 2 beers that like people in our area like cut their teeth on, and like that's what starts their alcoholism. But like Lion's Head, there is little pictograms on the caps to figure out.
Yep. And they have that as well with these Lone Star, but I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
No, I like it. Is shit.
It is. It's shitty, but it's good shit.
But I like this.
Yeah, it is. It's nice. I'm just like, oh yeah, no, this might be,
Every once in a while, especially with like all the craft shit that we drink, like it's good to just have a flavored beer.
So the thing with this though is like this is the only thing that, and it's like the stupidest thing in the world. The only thing that might keep me from getting this is that PBR's cheaper.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I could get a 30 pack of PBR for less than what a 24 pack bottles of this is. So it's kind of like But no, I do like it. I only picked up a 6-pack because I am, as you can see, I've switched to water because I am on dry January. So
I say Lone Star Brewing in Fort Worth, Texas.
There you go.
I'm assuming that's why it's a little bit more expensive, is because
probably,
it's not brewed.
Yeah, it's probably not brewed.
I mean, but then again, PBR is not brewed anywhere near here.
I think it's like Milwaukee. Isn't
it?
Like now, so. Whatever. So anyway, you were saying about this album?
I really enjoy this album. I enjoy Beastie Boys. I think one of the things, especially, one of the things that I was reading about specifically about this album, opposed to earlier stuff, being Paul's Boutique and License to Ill, there was far less sampling done on this album than there was on previous stuff. And it's something I've always enjoyed.
I don't recall there being a ton of sampling on License to Ill, but there is a bunch on Paul's Boutique.
There's a little bit on License to Ill. I mean, one of my favorite songs on License to Ill samples When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's very minimal sampling. It's predominantly live instruments, which I really enjoy, which I think I was thinking about that on the way up here as well. Is like, I think that's one of the things that draws me to Beastie Boys, is that it's like a lot of the, especially this earlier stuff, is them playing instruments, which is also why I think I enjoy the Roots so much. I enjoy that hip hop where it's actually someone playing an instrument behind it, not someone just sitting behind a fucking drum machine.
So speaking of this, so on the Dick Clark New Year's Rockin' Eve, so LL Cool J performed.
Yeah.
And fucking LL Cool J is fucking amazing, old school rapper, just fucking absolutely amazing. Had a full band behind him.
Star of NCIS.
Yeah, star of NCIS.
NCIS Los Angeles, excuse me.
Had a full band behind him.
Yeah.
And it was fucking amazing. I was like, oh man, this is great. And they were playing. They were like really playing. He had a DJ going too, doing samples and scratching and whatnot.
So do they.
Yeah, right. And but like he had a full band behind him, and they were playing, and like he's fucking into it, and he's sweating, and then like right after midnight, like Nicki Minaj came up, and it was all backtracks, and she was even lip syncing, which I don't have an issue with performers who perform in lip sync. I really don't. I don't have an issue with backtracks. I don't have an issue with lip syncing, except that I had an issue with this because it was unnecessary. I felt.
Yeah.
It was unnecessary. So like when you look at someone like I think it's been like notated that like Britney Spears uses lip syncing vocal tracks, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at
when you get into like the realm of like the Britney Spears and like the NSYNC and those pop stars, it's very difficult to sing while they're dancing at the level. Well, older versions of them.
Yes.
But it's hard to give a good vocal performance while you're dancing the way that you are.
And that's kind of my point. Is this like you know what I mean? It's just like you have this whole theatrical thing. Now, granted, people do it on Broadway every fucking night, but like that's besides the point. these people aren't Broadway performers. They're you know they're trained musicians, but they're it's not the same thing. So like when you have that grand scope and that broad thing, and ultimately people who are going to see that want to hear it a certain way. It's one thing, like I know people go see rock bands to have it be a little different.
The nuance,
People don't go see Britney Spears for nuances of something different. Honestly, Taylor Swift could probably get away with using tracks, but she doesn't.
Yeah.
But that's kind of like the point is like you have these big dance things that are going on and like a lot of stuff going on, and it's just kind of like, okay, no, I get it. It's still you singing. It's just not you singing right then and there.
Yeah. And I also, I mean, I'll give it to her. I'll give it like. It's live television too, like.
Yeah. Well, but again, still not really an issue, except that like she wasn't really doing much.
Oh, okay.
If she had been doing, if I'll put it to you this way, LL Cool J was 100% live.
Yeah.
His rapping was live, the music was live. It was, and you could see it. You could like physically see.
Yeah.
From just how much he was sweating from the time he started till the end, and it was like 30 degrees out. And like sweat's pouring down the guy, and he's out of breath, and he's like, as he's
fucking,
repping, you know what I mean?
It's New Year's Eve in New York. It's fucking freezing.
Yeah, and like you could tell, like everything about it was live.
Yeah.
And he moved to go with what he was doing. Whereas Nicki Minaj got up and just, number one, her syncing was off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, which is kind of like, all right, well, at least try a little bit harder with that.
Yeah,
and then the fact that she just wasn't doing that much, and that's where I was kind of like, I don't have an issue with it. I don't have an issue with you lip syncing. I don't have an issue using the track. But then put something more into it.
Did she do super bass?
I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I just I just know that, you know what I mean? So that was, that was my only thing with it. And it's, nothing against Nicki Minaj, because what I heard, I couldn't tell you what the songs were. I didn't mind them. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'd be pretty open-minded. Couldn't tell you, like if I just heard something on the radio, I'd have no idea that was Nicki Minaj. But that was the only thing I didn't like, was just the fact that like you're not doing much and you're using backing tracks and you're lip syncing poorly. That's come on, do a little, give me something a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
it's Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
Exactly. And that's kind of the thing. It's just like it's like go out, do a little bit more. And I did enjoy. Like, I enjoyed the music.
Like
I actually
Mariah
did.
Carey sounded like shit. When was it? A couple years ago?
I don't even know. Yeah.
She sounded like absolute shit, but she still went out there and did it. Yeah, she fucking still brought it, but
so
became a fucking mockery in the process.
Well,
but
I mean, hey, listen, as long as she gets that fucking #1 song every December,
true.
She doesn't fucking. What did they say? She makes like $18 million a year,
something like that,
doing just for that song, and it's like.
Did I ever tell you what? There's a John Mulaney bit. Where he talks about how him and his buddy, when they were like 11 years old, go to this diner in their hometown, and they go and they put on the song "What's New Pussycat" like 12 times in a row. And so what me and my buddies used to do is we used to go to this one bar. We used to go to McKenna's. I don't even know if McKenna's is still a thing. It's McKenna's at Frankfurt and Aldine. We called it the Diener.
Diener's still where you get the 85-cent PBRs.
80 cent PBRs,
I think it's still there. I've been there a couple times.
Yeah. We used to go there because 80 cent PBR and we would shoot darts. Yeah. And then one day we walked in and they got rid of their English dartboard and put up an American dartboard, and we stopped going to the Diener. But what we would do is we would go in and there'd maybe be like 2 or 3 other people at the bar, but we would go in like it was like middle of July. We would play Mariah Carey fucking All I Want for Christmas like 3 times in a row.
Oh, Jesus.
And like halfway through the second time, anybody else that wasn't me and my friends in the bar got up and left.
That's great.
And it was amazing because the bartender who was always there when we went, she's like, "Oh my God, I love this song." We're like, "We know you do, Ann. That's why we play it for you."
And in the meantime, you're killing our tips for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But
we took care of her.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. Well, you go into the Diener and you like put a 20 on the bar.
Well, no, the game we used to play was you'd go in, you put a $5 bill on the bar, you get your 80-cent paps, you get $4.20 back, and then you just keep paying with your dollars, and you keep getting 20 cents back, and at the end of your bills, you have 80 cents in dimes.
There you go.
So you get another beer. So you get a nice little. We throw down a $5 bill, get a nice little buzz going, walk a block and a half up up Frankfurt Ave to Whitterwood Out, get a cheesesteak, and they didn't have food, so we could bring the cheesesteak back there.
Yeah.
And then,
nice.
Throw another $5 down to the bar.
There you go. Nice. Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
But hey, Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys, yes. Back to Beastie Boys.
But yeah, like I said, I enjoy this album. I've never been a huge hip hop fan, rap fan.
I'm sorry. I just thought about this. I'm sorry. We're gonna get back into this. I'm sorry, but I just want to say too, back to my little comments about lip syncing and shit like that. For all you people out there who are like, oh, the fucking rockers, they know all their words. They don't lip sync. Fuck that shit. I was in the movie industry. We fucking did concert footage for all these fucking bands. I remember one specifically, Aerosmith, Rockin' Donington, I believe is what it was called, and you would see the on stage shots, and those aren't monitors. Those aren't regular music monitors all along the floor. There's a music monitor, then there's the lyric monitor. There's a music monitor, then there's a lyric monitor. So Steven Tyler doesn't know all the fucking words, and he still needs to read them off an iPad like I do. So there you go. It's just a really big, expensive iPad. But I'm sorry. Go on. You're not overall not into hip hop.
It's an iPad Pro.
Yes, but I'm just saying they all do it. The Rolling Stones do it. Fucking Elvis Costello does it. The Cure does. I'm just saying the ones that I've seen.
I saw a video today. When you have a career that's lasted as long as Aerosmith and as long as Elvis Costello, even as long the thing that I saw today. There's a video game, The Last of Us. It has an HBO series based off of it. In the second game, at one point, you can play an acoustic, like the character, you can play a guitar in the game, and it has like a little wheel that has a bunch of different chords on it, and depending on which way you hit the button, that's what chord it plays. So I saw a video today of it was Mark Hoppus of Blink-182 playing one of Blink-182's songs through the game, through the character in the game playing guitar, and he at one point he stumbles and forgets what the next line of the song is. Like, it's understandable. Like, when you have a career that spans that long, it's hard to fucking. I have a hard time remembering like important numbers that I need to remember.
So what will happen with me? A lot of it becomes muscle memory, right? So what will happen with me is like I've sat there and I've been playing like on stage, like like sometimes there's people out there, sometimes it's not, so it doesn't really matter. But like I've been playing like bigger festivals, and I'm like, fuck, and I'm the one who starts the song. I'm like, fuck, I can't remember the words. Most of the time, if I turn anybody else in the band, they'll be like, what? We don't know what we're playing. What are you talking? So, but I got to turn back to the drummer, my drummer Brian, and I'll be like, dude, what's the first line? And he'll give me the first line, and once he gives me the first line, I'm fine for the rest of it. But like, there's times where I'm just like fucking blank, and these are songs that I've played a million times. I remember this one time we were playing this place up in North Jersey, and like this is like the epitome of fucking muscle memory, because we've played these same songs over and over and over again, and we're playing in this bar, and there's like a TV like across from where we were playing, and I know I was watching TV, and I'm playing and I'm singing and I'm watching the TV, and it was like this like Geico commercial, the one where like the fucking guy's on a treadmill and a squirrel comes flying through the wall and nails him in the balls. Because it's pretty fucking commercial.
I don't remember that one.
I think it's Geico, but anyway, it's some like commercial, and this like squirrel comes flying through a wall, however, I don't know, squirrel got like slingshotted or something, comes flying through a wall and nails the dude in the balls as he's walking on a treadmill, and I'm sitting there and I'm playing, and it's that commercial, and then the dude gets hit in the balls. I start laughing. Well, so does everybody else in the band, because we were all watching the fucking commercial, and then we start laughing more because we all realized we were all just watching the commercial while playing this song.
That's
but like
awesome.
Not missing a note. Like, we didn't miss a note, we didn't miss a beat. But
it's like that thing where like happens. It's like that thing where you're driving and like you like next thing you know you're home and you don't remember getting
you're like,
there.
Wait, how the fuck did this happen? Yeah, exactly. So I'm sorry, go back.
No.
You were saying Beastie Boys, you don't you're not that into hip hop in general?
I'll say I've never been a huge hip hop person. But it's something, like I said, something about Beastie Boys, like just kind of like I get it, like it's, and you know what I think it is. While listening to the album on the way up here, as is tradition, I always listen to the album one more time while driving up to Paul's. it's punk rock, man.
No, definitely. There's punk rock too.
Like it's just the fact that like they're playing their own shit. Mm-hmm. Like it's just a punk rock fucking album.
There's a punk rock element to hip hop and rap and stuff like that, and people ignore it. There's a rock and roll element to all these things. This is why, like, because I've said it before. This is why I get annoyed when people are like, "Wow, why are they in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?" I'm like, dude, it's fucking rock and roll. It's fucking punk rock. It is this. It's just you look at it as like, oh well, it's synthesizers or it's mumbling or it's speaking over beats. And it's like, dude, come on. Like it's still rock and roll. It's still punk rock.
Here come the what? The gavel? The hammer?
The hammer. I don't know, actually.
Here come the gavel?
Here come down? Here come... I have no idea. I don't know. But yeah, so it's like, it's still...
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about it. It's still rock and roll. It's still punk rock. And those, that's why it just, like, it drives me nuts. And, like, honestly, one of the things, like, I do love the Beastie Boys. I do love the Beastie Boys. They are from old school rap, old school New York rap, and they stayed that way throughout their whole careers. Their sound, their style, their everything stayed that way. I put them up there as far as like New York hip hop and hip hop culture in general. I put them right up there with Run DMC because they were cutting their teeth at the same time.
It's funny that you say that because it's funny that you put them in the same boat as Run DMC, because I've said before, two of my favorite rap albums of all time are License to Ill by Beastie Boys and Raising Hell by Run DMC.
I mean, it was the same time, like, time that shit was coming out. The Beastie Boys were looking up to Run DMC.
Yeah.
Run DMC was first, and then the Beastie Boys were after. But you also have like all those other like really cool fucking New York rap, like Curtis Blow and like fucking oh god, this is gonna kill me. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and like the Sugar Hill Gang, and all these like great groups. Biz fucking Markie is old school New York rap. Roxanne Shante, all that kind of stuff was like there. Yeah. That was big. Fucking Nas came from that. You know what I mean? Like, but he was later.
I believe it's Nas.
Nas, whatever. He was later, but like he still like grew up watching that, and like the only thing that bothers me is that it's fortunate and unfortunate. A lot of those other bands that I mentioned do not get their due because it took the Beastie Boys for white America to accept rap on a commercial level.
Which we've talked about before on the podcast, where it took, fuck that cat.
Yeah, it took Elvis Presley to put the rhythm and blues on the map. Yeah. It took, you know what I mean? Like, just, they took the Rolling Stones as well to put things like Otis Redding and Bo Diddley and shit like that on like people's radar, because the Rolling Stones were emulating their sound and stuff like that. And it's bullshit, but it is what it is. And I mean, here's actually a perfect example. So I was down in Virginia visiting Sean. This is when he lived in like a fucking backwoods fucking Virginia in Arvania.
I thought he still lives in backwoods.
Well, he does, but this was like even more backwoods. So we went into this convenience store, and I'm wearing a shirt. It was a Run DMC shirt, but specifically it was a Jam Master Jay shirt, because it was a memorial shirt for Jam Master Jay dying and whatnot. Yeah, Jam Master Jay. Yep. Jam Master Jay. One of the best fucking DJs out there. We walk into the store, convenience store, and there's this like white, wet redneck dude behind the thing. It's like, Run DMC, huh? I'm like, yeah, man, Jam Master Jay, dude. Like, Run DMC's great. He's like, yeah, well, they weren't the first rap band. I was like, well, no, they weren't. Like, I'm like, the Sugar Hill Gang was before them, and you know what I mean, and Grandmaster Flash, like, and Curtis Blow, Run DMC was like right there though. He's like, no, fucking Beastie Boys. I'm like, well, no, the Beastie Boys were the Beastie Boy. And then like I look, I'm like, there's Confederate flags everywhere. I was like, all right, man, yeah, whatever, Beastie Boys.
You're like, yeah, Beastie Boys.
There you go. I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just ridiculous. It's like, okay, but yes, but no, they are like that. That is one of the things, and their style evolved. Yeah. But still stay true to what they were. Like they, you know what I mean? They didn't necessarily change their style like drastically through the years. Yeah, they wrote new songs. They put some different things in. They kind of went some different directions, but like they still were, at the core, they were the Beastie Boys. Definitely, if anything, the rest of their albums are probably different than License to Ill.
Yeah.
Where License to Ill is much more of a rock album with rap over it.
Yeah.
To an extent. Like, not totally, but like there's that there, whereas like all the other albums are much more, true hip hop. I mean, this one does get back to their like punk rock roots. Excuse me, where they do some of the punk rock stuff. But even Ill Communication has some of that on there as well. So, but
I would say Sabotage is a very punk rock.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. You know what I mean? It's
actually
it's
just
a great song.
I saw a video very recently. It actually popped up multiple times on my feed on Instagram of I don't know what fucking concert it was, but Korn was touring with Slipknot.
Okay.
And at one point, I guess Korn was headlining. At one point, like a bunch of the members from Slipknot come up and they both do Sabotage.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty neat. I thought you were actually gonna, because this keeps popping up on my my feed. It was the Beastie Boys were on Saturday Night Live, and they were getting ready to do Sabotage.
Yeah.
And,
is this when Elvis Costello?
And then Elvis Costello comes out and like does this thing back to like when he did no, there's no need to play this song tonight. And then they went into Radio by Elvis Costello, which and it was like pretty fucking perfect. So.
Friend of the podcast, Elvis Costello.
Elvis Costello, friend of the podcast. All right. So have you ever gotten the opportunity to see the Beastie Boys?
No.
Oh.
I would have greatly enjoyed it, but I never got the opportunity.
I got two opportunities. The first opportunity, I was not able to go, which I fucking begged my mom. It was like 91, 92, something like that.
So this is like Paul's Boutique era?
I guess it might.
It's before this.
Yeah, but it was definitely early high school years. I can't remember if I was a freshman or sophomore. It was like a Wednesday or Thursday night. They were playing at the Trocadero Theater.
Oh, I missed the truck.
Fucking
the truck.
The truck. Trocadero fit maybe 500 people.
Yeah.
It was a fucking great thing. I remember a couple shows, one of them specifically a Dead Milkman show that I was at, where literally the floor was bouncing.
Yeah.
Like it was like fucking dangerous but awesome at the same time. But yeah, so they were playing at the truck, and I had a couple friends go. Friend of the podcast, Frank Daly, went, and a couple other people who they went to see the Beastie Boys at the truck. So I did not get to go see them there. However, they were the second to last band on Lollapalooza '94.
Oh, okay.
Which I was able to go see them, and they were absolutely incredible.
I just from like from what I've seen and just like watching music videos and seeing like clips of live performances and stuff, it seems like just the energy of a fucking live show of Beastie Boys would be fucking amazing.
Dude, they were tight, they were solid, their sound. And here's the amazing thing. So that Lollapalooza was held at RFK Park, which, if you're not familiar with Philadelphia, so you have the stadium complexes on the one side of Broad Street, and that's where the Sixers and the Flyers and the Phillies and the Eagles they're over there. On the other side is a giant park called RFK Park, and it's just basically just a big park. Well, that year that's where Lollapalooza was, right? So they set up a stage
where the skate park is.
I wasn't at the skate park, but the skate park is in.
I say there's
it's a big park.
Yeah, I say there's a very famous skate park in RFK.
Yeah.
So famous that it was featured in the Philadelphia episode, Philadelphia level of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Yes, it was. So was Love Park.
Yeah.
So, but
Which,
yes,
they're not really close
no,
to each other.
not at all. But yeah. So RFK Park is just basically a giant park, and they put a stage there.
Yeah.
And their sound filled it was like you weren't in an outdoor show. It filled the whole fucking area. That's how fucking tight they were. They did play some of their own instruments. They played some of their old punk rock stuff. They were definitely the highlight for that Lollapalooza for me. There were some other really good bands that year. Like I really enjoyed.
I would say who else did you see that year?
George Clinton, Nick Cave. I saw the Breeders. I saw the very end of the Breeders. I didn't, because I got there a little bit late, so I didn't see anybody by it. So I don't remember who they were. But there was the Beastie Boys, and the Smashing Pumpkins were horrible. So they were the last band. But no, the Beastie Boys were fucking absolutely amazing. 100% like the best band that year. And so I was very, 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 very happy to say that I got to see the Beastie Boys live. So,
Yes, I'm very jealous of that. So
yeah, so there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. It was 30 years ago, so I don't remember everything they did.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it was an amazing show, and you know, I am a hip hop fan. I really am. I don't listen to as much hip hop as I would like to, but I mean, definitely like growing up, like, you know, as much as we listen to rock and some metal and, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, we always fucking did hip hop, man. Like fucking Fat Boys and you know, like the Beastie Boys, and then some of the other stuff, Run DMC. Like we would go outside, we'd find someone would get like a new refrigerator and the box would be out on the corner. We'd go and fucking find the fucking cardboard and fucking break dance and shit like that. And we'd on the cardboard. It was even better when someone redid their kitchen and like they had leftover linoleum. You know what I mean? So it was like, oh man, we're going to get some linoleum now. Yeah. And we had like, there's a fucking picture. It's great. I should actually use it for this. There's a picture of me, Michael, and Brian in our,
which keep talking because
in our windbreakers,
Yeah.
in our rap outfits. Yeah,
the wind never stood a chance.
The wind never stood a chance with us, man. It was awesome. So, but no, we were very, very much, which is funny because in that picture, like we all have the same exact outfit, just different colors.
Yeah.
On except like Michael was like getting towards rock at that, where it was much more rock because he had this like Rush headband on or something like that. But like
sounds about
me and
right.
Brian were like, yeah, we'd get like the you know, Brian had to have the patent leather Adidas, you know, and had a big boom box, and we were like, yeah, man, let's go out and break dance. And you know.
So when Brian died, Dad
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Dad was talking about how we were. So Brian was cremated. We had like a memorial thing for him. And you know, there was a bunch of poster boards of pictures and shit made of him. And Dad said something along the lines of like, "Oh, it's a shame that nobody has any pictures of Brian breakdancing."
I have some,
and I'm like,
they just weren't on the thing, but I have pictures of Brian.
And I'm like, the fuck did you just say to me right now? Because like growing up, like I always knew Brian as like he was a fucking sharp.
Yes,
he was a fucking skinhead
against racial prejudice.
Yeah, he had the fucking bomber jacket, and he had the Docs, and he had the fucking like Castro hat.
Yeah.
So we're like I'm like, yeah, when he fucking said something about Brian breakdancing, I'm like, the fuck did you just say to me right now? Like, say that one more time.
Yes. No. Those. Have you ever seen the pictures?
No.
Oh, okay. I have the pictures upstairs. Maybe we'll go look at them at some point. But yeah, no. There's pictures. There's pictures of of Brian breakdancing. I have them. I do have them.
That's fucking wild.
I guess they just didn't make it onto the boards of this thing. So.
Really quick, just off the top of your head, if you can give it to me off the top of your head, that's great. If not, don't worry about it.
All right.
Can you give me a top 5 hip hop albums for you?
Hip hop albums?
Yeah.
No, I can't give you top 5 hip hop albums. I can give you top 5 hip hop artists, in my opinion.
Go ahead.
You know, for me, like top 5 hip hop artists are Run DMC, De La Soul. I'd put Snoop Dogg there. That's 3. Man, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, fuck, man, it gets tough after that. You know, I mean, Dr. Dre's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really get into NWA much, but like when you listen to the fucking Chronic, it's one of the fucking greatest albums ever. So I guess that would be like a top 5 album.
Let me tell you,
sure.
I have walked into a Hot Topic no less than 50 times and flipped through their vinyl records and almost bought a copy of The Chronic.
Dude, it's a great album. It's an amazing album. Yeah. You know, probably I guess my number 5 as far as top artist, man, that's like it's I'd probably go with the Beastie Boys, but I mean fucking Eminem's also amazing at what he does, and you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. And as much as I love hip hop, I really should get. There's more hip hop. Like, you know, I love the fucking Fat Boys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put them as a top 5 artist though. I just love the fucking Fat Boys because for everything the fucking Fat Boys are.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
You have their,
with Buffy and Prince. What's the other dude say? Prince Paul? No, Prince.
I
Paul?
say you have their crazy special edition pizza box upstairs.
I do. But yeah, no, I mean, so.
Oh fuck! This one's got a lot of stuff.
Oh
on it.
geez, okay. But yeah, no, those are probably some of the best ones, and probably maybe some of the more popular ones. But like. I mean, but like, there's newer stuff too. Like I love what like Aesop Rock does. There's some stuff that Jack's turned me on with, like BB No Money and Young Gravy. Little Dicky was more of like a comedy one. Young Gravy's kind of like a little bit comedy, but it's like not.
Did you ever watch Little Dicky's show?
I watched a couple of it. I couldn't get that into it because I'm like, I don't like this. Like I wish you would do something else.
I enjoyed Little Dicky. I enjoyed that Dave, I think is what it's called.
I think
on
I
FX.
watched like 2 episodes or something. It was just like I like his music. I just I couldn't get into the show. But no, man, there's so many, and then like you get into like the older stuff when you're looking at like like I said, like Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 4 and Curtis Blow, and I mean just so many things, and like there's other ones that like I've always wanted to get into, and I just haven't taken the time. I will say that I am probably overall I am hip hop deficient in the fact that I love it so much, but I don't spend as much time on it as I think it honestly, as a genre, it deserves. So some good stuff. It is some good stuff. So
Sorry, I'm looking up the answer to this, Cat, because it looks like nonsense.
let me see. What do we got going on here? The Tower Owl.
It's not a tower. I'll tell you that. It's not a tower.
The Light Owl.
The Light Owl.
The Night Owl. I don't know. Yeah, who knows? We'll have to take a look at that.
So the one that I had earlier with Here Come the Judge.
The Judge
Is what the answer is. The answer to this one is The Boy Who Cried Wolf.
What? That makes no sense.
So it's a buoy.
Okay.
So
all
it's
right. So these, all right. So
yeah.
These are weird. These ones are weird. Yeah. Fuck
But
that.
the only problem is like they'd probably be easier to figure out if the printing wasn't so
the printing's pretty bad.
fucking terrible. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing before the F is. Is it wool? Is it a blanket? Is it supposed to be a blanket?
Yeah. I couldn't tell. Couldn't tell you. So. But yeah, no. So I, like I said, I am glad we had like 4 weeks to listen to this album. Even though you thought we were recording last week.
Yeah, I did. Again, my sense of time
Yes.
and space is all fucked up.
So I like that you're like texting me like, hey, can I do Skype tonight? I'm like, oh, I mean you can, but I'm not doing anything tonight. Like I'm not filming tonight. So, but
This one that I thought was truck bed. Pick up litter.
What? That makes no sense.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe it's supposed to be a litter box. I don't know, or a trash bag. I don't know.
That looks like a fucking that looks like the thing that like you would carry people off the
Yeah, it
football
looks like
field
a cot.
with.
Yeah. So whatever. Who knows? You guys can't see these, so but
You
yeah.
should take pictures of all of them.
Yeah, I
and
know.
post them on the thing.
So you got anything else about the Beastie Boys?
No, just I mean, like I said, I enjoy this album thoroughly, but it's every time I listen to this album, I wish it was Licensed to Ill.
Yeah, I got you. I probably, like I said, I probably like Ill Communication a little more than License to Ill, but I also like License to Ill. I don't know. Season 2 spoiler. I have them both in my collection. I just didn't choose either for.
You have Ill Communication?
I have Ill Communication.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yep. Like I said, I was like the second or third album I bought when I started collecting.
Oh,
vinyl, like
that's what it was.
2009,
Was Ill
2010,
Communication?
Yeah. So. Yeah, and it's it's a great album. It starts off with like a Sure Shot, and it's just like a cool start, and you got the dog barking, rah, 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 you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
But no, overall that is a great album. But yeah. So yeah. But again, I did find it to be a little bit of a hard listen from an objective standpoint, and I don't think I was alone on that.
I always well, before you get into that, because I like your transition. I've always had that that feeling with doing Summer Movie Club and doing this, like watching movies that I've watched a million times and I love, and listening to albums that I've listened to a million times. It's a very different process of listening to them from an analytical standpoint than just listening to enjoy.
Yep.
But again, our opinions don't mean
don't matter.
Don't mean shit.
They don't matter.
What does that beautiful baby angel upstairs think?
She fucking hates this album.
Does she?
So I will say that I tried playing it for a bunch of times over like the little break there, and she just kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
But Friday. So Friday we went food shopping. She was up. You know, she actually slept in a little bit. We got breakfast. She was all good to go. Went food shopping about, 5 minutes down the road. While we're listening to this, she just starts like fucking crying. And I'm like, oh, well, maybe you don't like this song. So I put another song on. She's fucking crying. So then I threw Hairspray on and everything was good with the world.
Yeah.
She eventually fell asleep. So I was like, all right, cool. Like whatever. Fell asleep during Hairspray and I went back to listening to this. I don't know if I even put this back on. But then I was like, you know what? Let's see. Let's just like do like another test because she really didn't get a chance to listen to it. Put it on again when we were on the way home. Nope, same thing, freaking out. And so I put on Hairspray. And as soon as she heard, the nicest kids in town, everything was good with the world. But no, she did not like this. It was borderline indifferent, but like definitely from the last reaction definitely went down as a dislike. So
what does that bring our totals to?
That gives you 10 likes and 4 dislikes. Gives me 9 likes and 3 dislikes, and then we have 7 albums that are indifferent, that Regina is indifferent on. So that is the Regina factor. I even like thought about but I like if I maybe I'll do it next week when I go food shopping. But because we have like I have like a thing to put my phone up on, like on so I can like look, but like everything's fucking, I don't know, it's a fancy car, so it does all that fucking. I don't actually need to put the phone up there, but I actually thought about putting the phone up and like recording the reaction. But like I was driving and I wasn't pulling over just to set up a fucking video. Yeah. So I don't like you guys that much. But maybe if I have a forethought to do it before I go food shopping next week, I will do that. I'll put that up and try to actually get a little video of
her reaction. That'd be a good little bonus content.
Yeah, exactly. So to prove that it's right. And also, as you notice, I also did not try doing that while I was driving with my 13-month-old daughter in the car either. So there's that. I have a teenager now. She's a teenager. She's 13 months old. So, all right. What are your top 3 songs?
All right, top 3. I have a top 3 with an honorable mention.
Okay.
Top 3, Gratitude.
Okay.
Time for Living. Professor Booty.
Okay.
Which is even better that we had this beer.
Yes.
And the honorable mention is So What You Want.
Okay. All right. So we're actually not that far off. Gratitude is on there. I love that bass line. I fucking love that bass line in Gratitude. Professor Booty is my number 2. And again, that's why I got the beer from Round Guys Brewing. So they're in Lansdale, Pennsylvania. So if you're in Lansdale, go check out Round Guy Brewing and get some Professor Booty. And my number 3 is Funky Boss.
Okay.
I actually have 2 honorable mentions.
Okay.
So What You Want is an honorable mention, and then Finger Licking.
Oh,
finger licking good, y'all.
This is very interesting.
Finger licking good, y'all.
Very, very interesting.
It's good, yeah. So,
do you want to know my bottom?
Finger licking?
Because I have an honorable mention. My bottom is Funky Boss with an honorable mention of Finger Licking Good.
That's funny. No, man, I like Funky Boss. Probably because I'm sitting there thinking like back to like when I was like a teenager and like my fucking boss was on my like, fucking boss, leave me alone, motherfucker.
I go Funky Boss for the bottom with an honorable mention of Finger Licking Good.
That's funny. But still, we were not that far. Maybe we both got Gratitude and Professor Booty on there. What my least favorite is Pass the Mic.
Okay.
Just it wasn't at first, but then like the last couple times I listened, I really started listening. I just don't like. I just don't like the lyrical content of Pass the Mic. I think they could have done better. Yeah. You know what I mean? That was my whole thing with it. I'm like, man, this I just think it could have been better. But it was actually a little difficult to really pinpoint my top, my 3 favorite and then my least bottom, because I mean it's a great album. That's what it came down to with Pass the Mic. I had to be like, okay, do I cop out and pick Namastad because it's a fucking instrumental? You know what I mean?
That's the other thing.
But I was like,
While listening to this album, over the past couple of days, like there's a lot of instrumental / interlude.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've noticed like on I've seen it in other rap albums where there's a lot of weird like 45-second long interludes or like weird just things in between songs, and I don't understand
One
it.
one of the best albums for that, and I actually fucking love it. It probably is my favorite hip hop album. That like I'm like pinpointing my top hip hop albums. Fucking De La Soul, 3 Feet High and Rising. Which if I had owned it when we started this podcast, it would be on. It would absolutely be on my 25. It 100% would have been. But I didn't own it. It wasn't in my collection.
Which is funny because when we first started this, I said to Paul, we each have 25. So we have 50 records.
Yeah.
And I said we should both buy a record that we would have had on our list to make it a full 52. I now own the record. Thanks to Paul. I now own the record that I would have put on my list if I had it.
That's season 2, man. That's season 2.
Oh, no, it's definitely
season
it.
1's going till June anyway at this point. So, but no. So yeah, if I own it, I do own it now. Again, I have gotten it. They re-released it, and I did get it after we started recording this. But like it would be on here. But 3 Feet High and Rising is one of those albums where it's just like it's all these. There's these little skits. There's these little interludes. There's like 45-second songs. But it's like it works. The whole album fucking works. It's a great album. So, but that's probably my all-time favorite hip hop album right there. But yeah, no, there is a lot of that stuff on this album as well. I just that's what it came down to, was just like what about like the song don't I like, and it's probably just I just found that the lyrics were just a little weak.
Yeah,
that's all. So, but overall, no, man, great fucking album. So as I had said, you want to grab your record there. As I had stated, you did not get this from your ex-girlfriend. In
2005.
Because you have a 2009 180 gram remastered reissue of that album. It's a pretty nice copy. That looks like this one didn't. Oh, I guess it would have been higher if you had them in alphabetical order. It would have been higher up on the shelf, so it didn't get water damaged in your flood. Oh, fucking another thing. Hold that up real quick. So the cover of this is taken by a photographer.
I was just about to talk about this.
Glenn
Continue.
Friedman, man. He's done like so many fucking amazing band like photos and covers. He's done like all like the fucking DC like Discord stuff, like all the Minor Threat stuff, the fucking Fugazi stuff, Rites of Spring, all those fucking pictures. He's done just so much. He's one of the most amazing fucking rock photographers ever, and like that's fucking cool that like that's one of his pictures on the cover.
I was speaking of the cover. I specifically saw the reason why why something like this picture was chosen was because they were leaning into the fact that they're playing their own instruments.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So they have their instrument cases with them, and that was part of the reason why, is because they wanted to show that like this isn't the samples and shit like that. Right. This is people playing actual instruments making music.
Yep. So yeah, you have a 2009 180 gram remastered reissue of this album, and it's a really nice copy. It's a 2-disc album. Your very good plus value is $37.14.
Nice.
Bringing it up to $38, which means your running total is now at $811. Fuck. My running total is at $587. Fuck. So you are $224 to the good.
Jesus.
Now, here's what I'll say. This album is actually your third hat trick of the season.
Yeah.
Which I've technically had 2 hat tricks, but it was like when I had those 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And you have fucking Steel Train.
Which I was thinking about. Who's got more albums left? You?
Me. Oh yeah, me. Yeah, I have more albums left. So so you're right now, because before your hat trick, we were actually dead even in the amount of albums that we had, and then you had 3 in a row. So I'm three albums behind you. I think I counted it earlier. Like I'm like 10 to your 7 or something like that. So I have a shot at catching up, but like I said, I kind of know, like, I mean, I know what's in my thing. I don't think there's really, I don't think I have a $180 Steel Train album in my fucking collection. You know what I mean? I might have some stuff where it's going to be pretty good. So I think I'm going to make it honorable, but it's not looking good for me as far as the running total goes. So
man, I really fucking wish I could remember which ex-girlfriend bought this for me.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it was not, unless I said, like I said, so if if that was like 2009, 2010, no, I guess, well, maybe college, maybe would Christy have gotten you something from Haley for like a birthday or something like that?
That's one thing that we've always been good about is we'll always get something. Like I got something for this past Christmas. I got something for Christy and her husband from Haley. That's something we've always been good about is getting each other something from the kid. But I could have swore she got this for me while we were still together.
Yeah, nope, she did not. She did not. So let's see here if I can actually get a fucking word in edgewise and maybe get a record to talk about here.
Let me put this over. Ooh, I'm pulling Michael Stripe's
his hat. Yeah, it doesn't really fit right on him, but it's still cool. It's still cool.
That's because he's a dead skunk.
He's a dead skunk. All right, so let's see what we have here. Am I going to get a word in edgewise? I have not. Oh, you want me to pick? I've not had a record.
I don't remember who the last one to pick was.
I don't remember either, because it's been so goddamn. We had Bob pick last time.
Well, yeah, because he was a special guest.
But
I don't remember. It's
been
so
so
long. I don't remember who picked before
so
that.
I'm mixing it up.
You know what? It was you because I remember you were bummed that you picked Boxcar. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then you fucking do it.
You hold Michael Stripe.
I'm gonna hold Michael Stripe. What's up, Michael Stripe? You did a good job on the TikTok the other day. You guys got to check out the TikTok. Michael Stripe did a little intro to the beer episode.
We got number 35.
You got number 35. Okay, here we go. Number 35, and it will be episode 43.
Pink.
On number 35.
Red?
If it's pink, it might be a me, but it could be a you. That's kind of the problem.
Pink's one of those weird ones.
Pink's one of those weird ones, yes.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Oh.
I've been fucking waiting for it all season.
Oh, have you?
Taylor Swift Folklore.
Oh! Taylor Swift Folklore. Do you want to tell the audience whose pick this is?
This is Paul's pick.
This is me.
This is probably the most unexpected pick from Paul. Like when he told me, I was like, "Oh fuck!" Really?
Dang! It's right here, right here. This is my
That's
pick.
fucking awesome.
This is my pick. So technically, I got this. No, I didn't. Actually, I did buy this from. I was gonna say I think I bought this for Katie, my wife, but no, actually, I bought this for me. So yeah. So this is actually the other Taylor Swift stuff that's in our collective collection now. I bought that for her, but no, this is actually my copy of Folklore. So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
When Paul first told me that was when I first read Paul's list, I was like, "Fuck, really?" I'm like, "All right," but. I'm fucking excited.
I am super excited.
I've been fucking waiting for this all fucking season, dude.
Yes. So now the question is, do we be good big brothers and invite our sister on to talk about this one? Because you could tell at Christmas she was a little salty. She hasn't been on the podcast.
I mean, I'll leave that up to you.
All the other alive siblings have been on, so I guess we can at least offer it to her.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get lucky and she won't be available next time.
So we may have a special guest, but next week's episode is going to be Taylor Swift Folklore. This is my pick. I'm back to the good. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
I'm excited.
I get to listen to Taylor Swift all week. So,
which, if I'm not mistaken, don't you have a fuck ton of copies of Evermore for sale?
I had a fuck ton of copies of 1989 for sale, but I sold them all.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Yep. I have a fuck ton of copies of Midnight.
Oh yeah, I say right.
Yeah, that's Midnight. Yeah, I have like 4 copies of Midnight. They're all the blue variant too. So
we also have a copy of Red.
Yeah, I have a copy of Red left, and I have 4 copies of Midnight available in the variant blue, and so
$29.99.
$29.99, brand new factory.
Have you seen
seal.
the thing? So on the back of the copy of Midnight, it's as 2, 1, 2.
Oh yeah,
right
when you have all the
I've seen
variants,
a thing you can buy where it's like a thing that you put all of the variants together to make a full clock.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's, but I think the other variants I can get. I just at the time I could only get the blue, so that's why I ordered 4 blue or 5 blue. Wait, there's 4. I think I ordered like 6 actually, and I have 4 left. So
when you say with the other variants, you can only get that one. Like you said, you could get the other variants. So like, were they specific to something else or? Like...
No, they were sold out. They sold out faster.
Oh, okay.
The blue was only available at the time, and so I was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'll just get 6 of the blue, and I didn't get any other colors.
Interesting.
But yeah, because I don't think they also print the most of the blue. That was the thing with that album too. Well, we can get into all that next week. So next week's episode, Taylor Swift, Folklore, man.
Nice.
It's, we're gonna hit our we're gonna expand on our the age demographic of our podcast next week.
We're gonna hit the fucking Swifties.
There we go, the Swifties. Get ready. You're gonna hear a fucking almost 50-year-old man and how old are you? 33-year-old man talk about Taylor Swift Folklore next week on the Country Hipster Podcast. So, you got anything else to add, sir?
Listen to Beastie Boys.
Listen to Beastie Boys. Listen to it. Give this album a shot. Check your head. Give it a fucking listen. But like I said, it's not my favorite Beastie Boys album. It is a good one though.
Yeah,
it is a good one. On that note, it is time to.